NFL Week 2 casually had like 3 Game of the Year candidates. Let's hop right in. All right, why don't we start with this absolute heater of a game. Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants. Both teams are 0-1. I thought this was going to be a snooze fest. I mean, I expected Dallas to win, but I did not expect a 37-37 overtime game. I can certainly say that. This was one of those games where if you don't follow football, you don't follow the drama, you don't look at records, you would have thought that the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants are the 2 best teams in football. Straight up. With 55 seconds left, Dallas is down by 3. Absolute laser beam to the now Dallas. Okay, so Banger, you think the game's over right there. Like, just naturally, you think the game's over right there. Russell Wilson looking like prime Russell Wilson, looking nothing like week 1 Russell Wilson. Dude, look at this stat line. 26 for 35, 385, and 2 tutties.
Wilson protected.
Not only that, but he just uncorks this thing to a fully double-covered Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors had another absolute monster game. Dude, how do 2 NFL DBs/safeties not cover one 23-year-old in double coverage? It's crazy.
Touchdown Giants!
That's like the only thing you cannot allow in that scenario. I mean, New York is down by 4, so you can let up short yardage because a field goal is not going to win it.
He dropped it in the bucket.
But Malik Neighbors double covered. Also, yeah, I mean, Russell Wilson threw a literal perfect ball. That was a classic moon ball from Russell Wilson.
Dallas.
I can't believe I'm saying, dude, after week 1, I thought Jackson Dart was going to play. Russell Wilson looked so mid in week 1 that I was like, you know, I do have that problem where you just overreact to week 1 a little bit too hard, but this was like vintage Russell Wilson.
Aubrey does.
And then Brandon Aubrey is just the best kicker in the league. 34-37, 64-yard absolute bomb. That shit's good from 70. Brandon Aubrey's a freak. Brandon Aubrey's an absolute freak. It's kind of funny, too. You know, all the drama happened with Justin Tucker, right? And now Justin Tucker's out of the league. I feel like my eyes have opened to how many good kickers there are in the league now. Like, Brandon Aubrey's amazing. Cam Little, Cameron Dicker, Chris Boswell has been a monster for a while. I don't know, man. I think we were hyping up Justin Tucker too much. I think there were a lot of other monsters in the league this entire time. Speaking of kickers, though, so yes, this game was absolutely insane. Real quick, I'm going to go to the stat lines just because I know Malik Neighbors had just an ungodly game. Russell Wilson, 30 for 41, 450, and 3. That's crazy. Malik Neighbors had 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dak had 360 and 2. And Brandon Aubrey dropped 23 fantasy points. Brandon Aubrey dropped 23 fantasy points. Yes. Speaking of which, I got to give you guys a check-in on my league. So I'm 1-0. Week 1 was amazing for me. I was absolutely cracked. But week 2, not the same. I'm hoping to hold on to this lead. Josh Allen didn't do great. Bijan was still very solid. Travion Henderson, I think it's going to take some time before he's really useful. I think I might have reached on him a little too early. Puka's still amazing. Garrett Wilson, dud. Njoku is kind of getting out-repped by Harold Fannin, the rookie, but at least I do have Harold Fannin. I don't know who to play at tight end every week. I've got Odunze on my bench, which is an absolute crime. Odunze went for 32. But I started Chris Olave and Devontae Smith over him. I'm kind of getting to the point where I think I'm just going to go Odunze over Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith has done pretty much nothing. Philadelphia Eagles show no sign of throwing the ball significantly, and I wouldn't if I was them either. They're 2-0, so it is what it is. I think I got to start Odunze. My opponent, this was my college roommate. He's got Tucker Kraft had 25, James Cook had 26. So I've got like a 45-point lead. And he still needs to play Bucky Irving, Nico Collins, and Emeka Egbuka. I don't know. I need a couple of those guys to lay a dud. Yeah, it's about right. I haven't lost yet, though. Let's just say that. Okay, let's talk about Colts-Broncos. Now, Colts-Broncos was an amazing game going into this game. For me, it was the litmus test of Daniel Jones. I was thinking, like, did Daniel Jones in week 1 just do one of those things where he plays magically really well and then he just falls off again? I gotta say no. Once again, he was amazing. No turnovers. Indianapolis Colts, 316 yards, 2 total touchdowns, Daniel Jones. Jonathan Taylor, 165 yards and a touchdown. and 0 turnovers. Now, granted, Bo Nix also bounced back super, super well, so Daniel Jones maintained playing well. But Bo Nix, horrible week 1, really solid week 2 here. The only thing is the Broncos low-key got screwed out of this game. I cannot confidently say that the Indianapolis Colts played this game. I can definitely say that Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor played amazing, but this was baloney. So here's what happens. Schrader comes out to kick a 60-yard field goal, and the funny thing here is where you really see the difference between guys like Brandon Aubrey and a guy like Spencer Schrader. There are NFL kickers in the league who are truly just absolute accurate monsters inside 60, but it's the best of the best that can actually hit beyond 60 consistently, and Schrader is not one of those guys. If this was Brandon Aubrey, and it's a 60-yarder, or Cam Little, or Cameron Dicker, or maybe a few other guys, I would be like, yep, the Colts won the game. But Schrader comes out here, and here is his 60-yarder to win the game. Down by 2, 60-yard field goal.
And the kick is...
It didn't even have a chance. So not only does he slice it right out the gates, but watch this ball trajectory. Oh, shoot. Sorry, you can't really see it because it's Instagrammed down, but this kick didn't even have a chance. Even if that was dead nuts down the center, it probably wasn't going in. So this is where... Oh, and then the mascot does this shit.
First gonna win!
I love the Colts mascot. He's so funny. Yeah, like, it just didn't really have a chance, right? So Broncos win the game. It's game over. Congratulations, Denver. But there's a flag.
It's against Denver.
Personal foul, leverage, defense number 96.
You hear what he said? Personal foul leverage. And if you're like me and most NFL fans, you said, what the hell is leverage? I've never seen that called in my life. Okay, you are not allowed to push off the center, gain leverage on your jump off the center to block a kick. Yes, that is a rule in the NFL rulebook. And yes, Denver committed the penalty. It was leverage. However, when is the last time you saw a leverage call? A leverage call to me is incredibly similar to a holding call on the offensive line. If you were to micromanage watch every single rep of NFL football, every single play that gets ran, there's a holding every single play. And it's like, if it's blatant, if it's the worst blatant call, the refs will call it, right? But you don't just see refs just calling holding every single play. They want the game to actually exist. Now, what's so messed up to me about this leverage call
That's a huge...
is the fact that it didn't affect anything. I mean, yes, he touched the center. He committed a literal penalty, but it was a bogus call. In my opinion, it never should have been called. It did not change the trajectory of the kick. It did not impact the kick, did not impact the snap. Schrader outright missed that kick on his own accord, and he was given a freebie second chance because they felt like calling leverage. I'm not going to call conspiracy, but if there is a conspiracy call this week, it's this call right here, for sure. Leverage, Mahomes-ass call for real. When was the last time you saw a leverage call? I agree. It's actually exactly what I said. NFL clearly cheated for the Colts. Like, I don't want to take it that far and be like, oh, the NFL is rigged and they're rigging it, but this is a weird-ass call. This is basically one of those calls you could call any time in the world if you just want another play to be ran. It's just like a holding. A leverage call. So this is the second kick, which is 45 yards.
It's good, and the Colts have won.
And it's absolute money. I think the difference between his 45-yarder and 60-yarder is so funny. Like, he can hit that, no questions asked, but the 60 wasn't even close.
Sanchez will hold. And the kick is no good!
It honest to God, it just pisses me off that his 60-yarder was so bad and he was given a freebie attempt at a 45. Like, that actually makes me mad because Brandon Aubrey's out here bombing a 64 to send him to OT. Like, that's savage. Like, Schrader whiffs a 60 and then gets a freebie at 45. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a hater. Leverage penalty turns a win into a the kick on this angle. So this is the kick that leverage was called on. Here's the long snapper. He shoves him.
You see, he just...
I mean, the point of the leverage penalty, let's be clear. Yes, did he shove the long snapper? Absolutely. The point of the leverage penalty is if you can use the long snapper as like a trampoline. Number one, that would suck for the long snapper. Number two, you block so many more kicks. It's also why you can't jump directly over the long snapper. It's why you can't use him as a stepping stone to get to the kicker. Because what's the clearest line of sight to the kicker? The cleanest and fastest way to get to the kicker is if you're number 9, literally leapfrog the long snapper, right? This is why the penalty exists. The long snapper snaps it, you fucking run and jump over him. It would be impossible to kick the football if that was allowed. That's why leverage exists. But where does he get? He doesn't get leverage here to block the kick. He gives the guy a little shove. I mean, unless they're calling leverage on this guy, and even he's just jumping. He's not. It's a bummer, too, for Denver Broncos fans because, like, whether or not these guys tried really hard to block this kick wouldn't have mattered. Schrader whiffed it. Look at Schrader, too. I mean, you couldn't have a cleaner snap, hold, and kick, and he just missed it. Here is the official rule, though.
Screen, it's placing a hand or hands on a teammate or opponent to gain additional height and then, to block a field goal, basically. So you can't put your hand on a teammate or on an opponent to block
That's a really good, that's a really interesting point. I didn't realize you couldn't put a hand on a teammate. I suppose that makes sense. You know what teams would do? You would do the thing. You know the thing you do in, like, junior high where you and your buddies would, like, you'd do backflips like that? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you could just you could literally take your smallest teammate. You could take your punter, your kicker, your fucking water boy, and you just get 2 315-pound nose tackles and just fucking chuck them at the kicker. That would be a sick-ass idea if you could do it. But you can't. Okay, wait a minute. Hear me out, though. Placing a hand or hands on a teammate to gain additional height. What if you didn't gain height? What if it's a 53-man roster, okay? Make the 53rd man just a small, petite little twink gay boy. 115-pound little twink, okay? And you've got Quinnen Williams and Chris Jones. And they just both grab this little fucking twink. And they just chuck them at just 2 hands, whoom, right at the kicker. Not gaining height. They could throw down. These guys are like 6'3". Just throw them down at the kicker. And if it hits ball first, it's legal. Like, I legitimately may have just created the greatest way of all time to block a kick. I think I actually did. I'm not even kidding. That might have been the smartest thing I ever said.
Field goal. Does that happen on this play? Well, when this play begins, it's not the issue where people are having is the broadcast circles an area, but they circle just like 8 different guys, so it's hard to tell exactly.
Yeah, even the broadcast didn't know what the hell was going on.
What they're trying to circle, but you see right there, 92, you see his hand is on that offensive lineman, on his number, basically. Watch as he uses that to push and go up over the top. This is absolutely a penalty. It is absolutely the correct. Uses that, basically. Watch as he uses that to push and go up, basically. Watch as he basically.
Oh, I see. This is where the penalty is here. It's actually like super hard to see based on this broadcast clip.
Watch as he.
Because even the broadcast didn't know. So it's actually not the long snapper that's being used for leverage. It's number 68 who's being used for leverage.
He uses that.
That's my thing about this penalty. Yes, it was literally leverage. There is also literally holding on every play, and you don't literally call it every play because it ruins the sport. Like,
the push and go.
I don't know. If he got leverage and blocked the kick, then you call leverage. When he gets leverage and the kicker shanked just because the kicker shanked, I don't know. I'm not cool with the call. I think it's a Bogue-ass call. I think it's a Mahomes-ass call. Still, though, absolute banger game. It's crazy to watch Daniel Jones have this resurgence. I feel like so many quarterbacks are having these resurgences. You cannot write quarterbacks off anymore. You can't write Geno Smith off. You can't write Sam Darnold off. You can't write Daniel Jones off. These guys just come back and start playing great football after multiple years of bad football. It's crazy. It's awesome. It's really awesome to see. So those were 2 like absolute stunner, wicked, awesome games. I think my favorite game was this one. Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears. I was in attendance. I have a game day vlog. It's coming out on MMG, so make sure you check that out. That's a fucking banger. I can't wait for that. Jahmyr Gibbs. Beautiful, Jake. We could glaze Jahmyr Gibbs, but you could glaze the entire team. We were so back. We dicked on Ben Johnson coming back into Detroit. We looked like the real Detroit Lions. Our season is so back. I'm not worried anymore. I think the reality is two things. Yes, we had a really bad week 1 game, but also the Packers are very good. Like, the Packers minus Micah Parsons were already a very good team. I have to admit that. They were already a very good team. They have a great defense, and Jordan Love is good. Jordan Love almost kind of reminds me of Jared Goff sometimes, because Jared Goff will have these electric, outright insane games, but then sometimes he just lays this biggest egg, and you're like, who are you, bro? And Jordan Love kind of does that too. But either way, the Packers were already nasty, and then they added Micah Parsons. So comparing our entire season to losing to the Packers doesn't mean much, because we just dicked out the Bears. The thing is we got to be ready to face a lot of good teams this season. So let's lock in. Romo Dunze was the only bright spot on the Bears. Yeah, the Bears still suck. He really had an excellent game. Caleb Williams was going to him a lot. Caleb Williams was just trying to make magic happen, and it didn't matter because his defense let up 52 points. I still like Caleb Williams a lot. One thing that my buddy, who knows a lot more ball than I do, said to me is it takes 2 years to install a new offense. That's what he says. He says in the first year of getting a new offensive coordinator and trying to install a new offense, it almost never works. But by that second year is when it really starts to click. And I kind of noticed that with the Detroit Lions. Like, our first year when we had Dan Campbell and when we cleaned house and had all new coordinators, we still weren't good. We won like 5 games that season, but the following season we were nasty. So maybe that's where the Bears are. Bears fans, I just coped for you. So if you want to take that copium, inhale it, and go sit on the couch and enjoy your high, just have a blast, man. It's gonna be a long season though, I'll tell you that. Dude, another holy MM casual moment. I was literally just about to say another absolute banger because I looked at the score. These two haven't even played yet. This is the game that's today. This is the game I needed Mecca Ibuka to do absolutely nothing. I will also say that CJ Stroud has looked very flat. Like, why is it that CJ Stroud was almost better his rookie year than he has been since? So this upcoming Texans-Buccaneers game, I want to see something out of CJ Stroud. I think Baker Mayfield's done his great resurgence. He's already looked really, really good. So where did the good CJ Stroud go? Bring that guy back. I want to see him again. Nick Sirianni throwing the Giga Chad challenge flag. 4th and goal. You know he's having.
We get a challenge.
For the record, if I was a coach, I would do that too. Why not, dude? You get to throw it however you want. I might start underhand softball pitching that thing. Just throwing piss missiles. Bro, nothing scarier than a softball girl. Nothing scarier than just a short, stout, 5'2", 185-pounder. Hits dingers, probably zins. Absolute fat ass, but not like BBL fat. Like, she's just a big girl. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I said that. Okay, let's talk about the sad news though. Joe Burrow. Expected to miss at least 3 months. He may never win a ring, but he's on pace to finish his career with 7 Comeback Player of the Year award trophies. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, like, it already was looking a little spooky for the Cincinnati Bengals. I will say that. This makes things ultra spooky once again. It's so sad to see injuries. I pray for a future for my kids where they have like force field technology, where these guys can go yard, CTE, resistant, Sean Taylor levels of hitting, except they just have like force fields on their body or something, you know? Like, what if we could bring back, like, just straight up spear tackling, murdering someone, more or less, with a tackle, except it doesn't injure them? How sick would that be? Just say out for the season? Ouch. I understand the implication, but that's not out for the season. When was the last time he played a full season? Actually, a great question. I don't know. Moment of silence for all Joe Burrow fantasy owners. Agreed. Also, a moment of silence for Joe Burrow, guys. I think Joe Burrow getting healthy is more important than our fantasy teams. I'm just kidding. I played my opponent. My opponent has Joe Burrow. I was jumping up and down with joy doing jumping jacks in my living room. I'm kidding. I was not doing that. It is really sad. It's especially sad because it's Joe Burrow, who's already struggled with a lot of injuries. Chiefs are pissed that the Eagles beat them. I don't even know how to feel about this. It wasn't a particularly good game, or I think a better way to put it, it was a very defensive game. The funny thing about week 2 is, like, the NFL tries their best to hype up their best games. Like, they want people watching, like, Eagles-Chiefs, because that's supposed to be the banger game, right? You know, and I get it, because everyone would think it's a Super Bowl rematch. But in reality, dude, the best game of the week was Giants-Cowboys. And if it wasn't that, it was Broncos-Colts. And if it wasn't that, I mean, I think it was Bears. I think it was Bears-Lions, but I'm a little biased. Either way, yeah, Chris Jones was pissed talking shit to Jalen Hurts, saying he doesn't even have 100 yards.
Worked their way to a 2-0 start to this season. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are about to start 0-2 and hand Patrick Mahomes his first.
It's a good point, though. You know, he is talking shit about his yards, but at the end of the day, they got the W, and that's all that matters. What a beautiful rivalry this is. Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs. It's a beautiful rivalry. I can say that. Wow. Can we talk about the fact that there's all these, like, absolute giga heater games, and then J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penis Jr. come on my TV and give me the shittiest game I've ever seen. And this was the primetime game. This was the primetime game. I mean, I kind of get it. It's like Kirk Cousins used to play for both teams, and Atlanta, you know, Michael Penix Jr., Bijan Robinson, J.J. McCarthy, the new rookie. J.J. McCarthy, I don't relish in saying this. I know I hate the University of Michigan. J.J. McCarthy has played exactly 2 good quarters of football and exactly 6 quarters of dog shit benchable football. J.J. McCarthy was horrible this whole game. Really, really, really bad for 4 quarters. A lot of turnovers, super sloppy, really struggled. Now, in the Bears game, for the first half, he did that same thing. But then he was like man reincarnated. He was throwing laser beams. They mounted this comeback against the Bears, and you're like, whoa, baby, J.J. McCarthy is the truth. Dude, this game had 8 field goals, and then Tyler Algier comes in and puts in a poverty touchdown. My biggest takeaway from this game was the ability of the Atlanta Falcons to get in the red zone and then just do fucking nothing with it. That was like actually pissing me right off. Yes, it's also because I have Bijan. I wanted his ass in the end zone. Bijan dropped 20 in fantasy without a touchdown and only 3 receptions. 22 carries, 143 yards. My other takeaway from this game is Bijan Robinson's a god. Bijan Robinson is a rocket ship. Dude, he has nitrous in his feet. This guy is a beast. But overall, just a sloppy game. This was the only touchdown of the game. And I'm going to be honest, it kind of looks like the Vikings gave up at this point. I mean, nobody gives a shit. This was Moses parted the Red Sea so that Tyler Algier could get 6 poverty fantasy points.
And Algier walks in
And yeah, I'm pissed about it.
the end zone for the game's first touchdown.
It was the first touchdown of the game.
Out of the pistol,
Bijan looked really damn good, though.
Left through a tackle. Robinson
He's just a freak.
And there goes Robinson.
He's a freak.
Getting loud, 2nd and 5.
This was very interesting. I want to see this again.
Robinson with that cut, the deep, and the move.
Right by.
So was this supposed to be a handoff, or was this a bobbled snap that they just... I couldn't tell if it was a trick play, halfback direct, or if they literally were just like, fuck it, let's make something out
They're
of it.
blitzing. They're
Worked.
overpowering the center.
People are talking shit, Bijan Gibbs, and it's not even close. You know, nobody brought Jahmyr Gibbs into this conversation. You did that, bro. Nobody said anything about Jahmyr Gibbs. You just decided to throw that in there. I will say, 2 best running backs in the league right now are Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs. I think the old heads like Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, still kind of take the cake for now. But 2 years from now, it's going to be Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs, and there's not going to be much debate about it. Mahomes played a weirdly not so great game. We're kind of bouncing around between games.
5-man press.
Mahomes airmailed Tyquan Thornton.
So this time
Airmailed him by like 20 yards.
Going deep.
But then
Again.
he goes right back to him, and Tyquan Thornton catches it. So, yeah, that's a big-ass heave and a good play. I don't know, it was weird to see. It's weird to watch Mahomes not play that great of football, but I also can't say that because Travis Kelce. How many times have we seen this exact play except Travis Kelce catches the ball and it's a touchdown? Tell me if you were as shocked as me when you saw this. 2nd and goal, Chiefs are down by 3. Really need this touchdown.
Blitz. Mahomes over the middle. Kelce. Oh.
Travis Kelce fall off? I mean, are these guys, can they just not keep up the magic for the 11th year? I don't know, but I have seen this exact play 100 plus times, and Kelce catches it every time. Not only does he bobble it and miss it, but it's intercepted.
Oh, it's picked off. It's Makuba who's got it, and room to run. One man to beat.
Also, gigantic shout out to the Chiefs offensive lineman. This should be a pick 6. If your offensive lineman isn't a fucking freak. I don't know who this O-lineman is, but this guy's a monster. He just tracked down a safety.
Take it out.
That's a pick 6 if he doesn't track him down. The other thing, too, about both the Eagles games, Eagles have not looked that impressive to me at all. They just haven't. They have snuck out both games. I think realistically, they could have lost both games. Well, duh. but they almost should have lost both games. Like, that should be a touchdown, Kansas City. Oh, what else we got? Cowboys signed Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney never lived up to the hype, and he's getting older now. I don't think this is a huge signing. Close enough. Welcome back, Micah Parsons. I mean, he'll certainly help. I'm not saying that's a bad signing or anything, but this is low-key my favorite play of the week. Cam Ward to Alec Ayomanor. Titans lost. That's what happens when you suck and you have that first-round pick and you take Cam Ward. Obviously, you're probably going to suck that year, too. Holy shit. Look at this play.
Quarter. Ward looking. Looping out of trouble.
Fast, evades. This man is on the 25-yard line.
Receiver.
Crossbody cannon.
He's going to throw against his
to the back left.
To the end zone.
It's a fucking dot.
Touchdown.
That is a disgusting throw that you are never supposed to throw, and he made it work. That's why you get the guy first round, first pick. That's why you do that.
To play.
It's actually insane. All right, let's get back to the score table here. So Detroit Lions dicked on Chicago. I won't go deep on that game because I've got a whole vlog on it. Niners Saints. Niners beat the Saints with Mac Jones. That was a funny thing about this game. So Mac Jones, 26 for 39, 279 yards, 3 touchdowns. Hello? I'm going to be honest. I thought Mac Jones was still in Jacksonville. Like, when Brock Purdy went out, I was like, who is their backup? It's Mac Jones. Played a pretty good game. You know who else played a pretty good game? Spencer Rattler. Like, all around, it was a much better game. All of these games were better than I expected. I think the Mac Jones era is going to be short-lived. Even if he plays good football, they're going to start Brock Purdy again. So it does not matter. But a nice win there. The Saints kind of suck, so I'm not going to gas them up too much. Seattle got the win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Seattle looked really good. Seattle recovered a kickoff for a touchdown. So the Seahawks recovered a kick for a touchdown, but they were kicking. You legitimately usually only see this at the high school level. I cannot believe that I witnessed this in an NFL game. Okay, so he muffs the return. He looks back at it. He's like, all right, whatever. Let me walk it off. That thing's rolling through. Great awareness here by number 39 on the kickoff team.
Johnson, he may have touched that ball.
That's a touchdown. It's instantly a touchdown.
That would be a live ball.
This legitimately sealed the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Handing in a close game, if you hand an NFL team 7 points, you're going to lose.
Let's see what the ruling is here. It is a touchdown! It's a touchdown!
One thing I was a little bit skeptical about this is like, it almost kind of looks like he rolls into the end zone here. Like, does he have possession and is he inbounds? I don't even know what the ruling would be, though, because if he took that ball out of bounds, is it a safety? Because the Steelers player already has touched the... I really don't know. This was a super fucking weird play. But all around, the special teams unit, the Pittsburgh Steelers special teams unit is going to be doing some laps. They're going to be running some cardio. For sure. Not going to be looking good. It is the second time ever in NFL history that happened. The worst thing you could do on a Mike Tomlin team is not know the rules. He's just out there kicking touchdowns. Browns-Ravens. Ravens dicked on him. I don't think anybody is shocked here. Patriots-Dolphins. I'm full-blown off the Tua Tagovailoa train. I think Mike McDaniels is getting canned. I think Tua is big time on the hot seat. Here's the thing, though, about Tua Tagovailoa. I think he's going to be like all these other guys I was talking about, like the Baker Mayfield and the Sam Darnold. I think we're going to write Tua off because it just isn't working for him in Miami. It just isn't working for Tua in Miami. This isn't even a particularly bad game, but it's just not working. And then he's going to go get signed by someone else, and then 3 years from now, he's going to have a resurgence on some other team. That's the only, realistic scenario I see for Tua Tagovailoa, because they just can't get it to go here. Shout out Drake May, though, 19 for 23. Tell me why Ramondre Stevenson's washed bum ass is getting 5 receptions for 88 yards, while my GOAT, Travion Henderson, is getting 2 for 30. Criminal. Buffalo Bills dicked on the New York Jets. Rams beat the Titans. Puka Nacua had a nice little jet sweep rushing touchdown. All things considered, it was an amazing week for the NFL. I think final funny thing I want to talk about. So the Bears signed Jake Moody. Now, week 1, I was talking about how Jake Moody's getting canned. He gets canned. And Kyle Shanahan in his presser after firing, more or less, cutting Jake Moody, he says it sucks to cut a kicker because you're going to watch them sign with another team and become a Pro Bowler. And I can't help but think that that probably will happen with Jake Moody. You do not get drafted as a kicker unless you are an unbelievable talent. So either Jake Moody is falling directly off the bandwagon, he's just out of the NFL, or he's just going to go be a Pro Bowler with a different team. But for whatever reason in San Fran, he was not good. It didn't matter though, because the Bears still used Cairo Santos. So this signing is interesting. They have 2 kickers on the roster, both really good. I think this was just straight up a value pickup because Jake Moody has the potential to be one of the best kickers ever, and he just has been nothing but bad. And then Tampa Bay at Houston Texans. Since this game hasn't kicked off yet, you might be watching this video when this game is kicking off. I'll give you my prediction right now. I have the Houston Texans winning this game. I have CJ Stroud throwing for more than 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think CJ Stroud needs to lock in and have a big game. I think he's going to do it at home. I think this will be a really good game for the Houston Texans. I cannot see the Houston Texans being 0-2 to start this season, and I really can't see the Buccaneers 2-0. So I've got Houston. Either way, boys, I love you. One thing I really got to say, thank you so much for watching the Meags channel. It was always my goal to have a channel like this where I could talk about whatever the fuck I want, just yap, and enjoy making videos with you guys. Obviously, I love the MMG channel, but if you've ever played Madden or college football, you understand how difficult it is to play those games year-round and not want to put your head through a fucking wall. You're so handsome, you're so girthy and long. I love you, and have a spectacular rest of your day. Peace!